Once again, my good people, great people, I welcome you to my channel. This is Daniel Kimuyu, the great son of Machakos County, Mala constituency. Uh, I want to continue with my education journey. And at the start of this story or narration, I want to do some confession that there's God in heaven who orders your steps. Sometimes you might be walking in the wilderness without knowing where really actually you are going and what is next in ahead of your life. But it is good to know that there is God in heaven who orders your steps. Now this is it. After I escaped the helicopter church where the chokora, the street children were held, I was walking along the streets of Kayole now, trying to find my way out. In one of the plots, as I was passing by, I will go there and maybe at the end of this episode show you that school. It was actually a plot, a residential plot that had been converted into a school. I found a man standing at the door of that plot. When I read at the top, it was written Perfect Mission High School. Wow, wow. Me seeing the word high school, it gave me off. Though deep inside me, I felt it like this is a nice school, but I cannot go. Then the guy greeted me, you young man. Then we had a chat one on one. Then he told me, this is a school. Welcome. How can you help you? I told him my story. He was a Congolese guy. After telling him my story, he asked me, how much do you have? Now, this is the funny thing, another funny thing about me. By the time I was leaving home, I had 10,000 shillings, which I had hidden in my socks. I told this person I have 3,000, whom I came later to know he was the director of the school. He told me, with that 3,000 shillings, you'll get into Form 1 and you will start your studies. Now, this is towards the end of June 2007. Ah, I said, I'm the eighth born in the family. Within the family, I was the first person to go of all my brothers, being the eighth one. I was the first person to go to high school. This is another opportunity for me to step into a class called high school. I was so grateful to this man. I excused myself to go to the washroom where I went and to my socks. I took the 3,000 and the car came and gave him. He took a bunch of books. He told me this is for this chemistry, this is for maths, what. Then he went to introduce me to a class. It was a class of about seven students. Now I was like the eighth one. He gave them my books. You write all the notes for English. You write for him all the notes for chemist. You write. So every student there was allocated one or two books to write for me the notes, whatever they had covered. Now that was my first day in what I will call high school. It was in Kayole. For those who know, Kayole is a suburb area in Nairobi. Area called around Kwachib. The nearest primary, the opposite is Dhahabu Primary School. Yeah, that place. So at the end of the day, I had full notes. It is like I had all the books. And the funny thing, I had no uniform. Then that guy told me to enter into the class with whatever the clothes I was wearing. He told me you will sort out the issue of uniform later on. I was so grateful. My journey of education has started. Come the end of the day, we have been told, "Hurrah, go home." I remembered I have nowhere to go. I tried to give that the SIM card, my dad's SIM card, which I had stolen, to everyone, whoever I met on the road with a phone. You see, I want to call somebody in this number. Uh, I saw a booth, these ones which had these phones, the Jamii phones, which can be used by everyone. I went there, I found a lady, I told her I need to use a SIM card. All the phone, I don't, in my memory, I cannot remember any phone number. The lady was cautious enough. She had the SIM card and told me, which number do you want to call? The first person I thought was one of my cousins is called Mule. Bernard Mulonzi. When I called Bernard, because I knew this guy, by then I was hearing he had a construction, he had a building. He owned a building. He is my cousin, and I was hearing he owned a building in Kayole. When I called him, he told me, "No, where I am is in Ruai, and between where you are and me, there is these gangs called Mogiki. You cannot come here." I called my brother Patrick, now the person I had mentioned before, Patrick. Patrick told me it is too late, but if you can find your way to Uruma, kwa cheap, around the Redeemed Gospel Church, I will pick you from there. And that is what happened. Then I went into a matatu. I boarded a matatu. And these matatus, they assume everyone knows where he or she is going. So we came, and then when we reached Dadola, somewhere called Raunda, the matatu turned there and they said, "Now everyone will have to reconnect to Uruma." I said, "I don't know Uruma." They told me, "Just walk with this route. You will see Uruma. You will see Redeemed Gospel Church. It's about 200 meters." I just walked. I had no choice. I went. I met my brother there. Was waiting for me. Exact point. Um, we slept. I told him my story. The following day, I woke up back to Kayole. I have to attend school now. I am now a student. Within the week, I had now bought the black trouser, white shirt. I was now looking like the other students. I was so happy. Then the money I had saved, it kept depreciating with every day's usage until I had no money. So I started depending on my brothers. Every morning I tell my brother, I want money for lunch. I want money for transport. The brother will give me 20 bob, 10 shillings to take me to Kayole, and the 10 shillings back to Ruma, and the 20 shillings for lunch. It was tough because let me tell you, from Uruma to Kayole, I used to board like 3 matatus. I boarded the first matatu. Along the way, when the conductor arrives at my seat, I give him the 10 bob. He will just knock. He will just knock. Shukisha, Shukisha, remove this one. I just step out. I wait for another vehicle. I board with my 10 bob. I never let that 10 bob out of my hand unless I have reached where I was going. I board another vehicle along the way. The same will happen. Shukisha. I walk until now I come to near the school where I found a matatu, a bus, which is now saying 10 bob to Kayole.